All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, all glory, and all honors unto Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, and Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. This is another edition of GMS News and Prophecy. I have a few articles, like just a few headlines of things that's going on pertaining to prophecy. The first one here would be another earthquake update. This is from USAtoday.com. It says earthquakes explained. It says here from McCall, Idaho. Right, so this is dated yesterday, April 1st, 2020. All right. Okay, now here's the actual headline here. It says the floor was moving. 6.5 earthquake strikes in Idaho, largest in the state since 1983. All right, so we just had that major 5-pointer earthquake in Utah. You know, we had a couple hundred earthquakes in Alaska, and now we have this major earthquake here in Idaho. Okay, and once again, this lines up with Matthew the 24th chapter of earthquakes in diverse places. Okay, it says it was a typical Tuesday evening at the Albertsons grocery store in this resort town about 100 miles north of Boise. It says, until Susie Baker looked up and saw all the hanging aisle signs swinging back and forth. Then I thought I heard a sound and the floor was moving, said Baker, a checker at the store. It was the force of the most powerful earthquake to strike the gem state since 1983, a magnitude 6.5 tremor that jolted people across Idaho and 3 neighboring states. No injuries or damage were immediately reported. It says the quake was centered 73 miles northeast of Meridian near Boise, according to the U.S. Geological Survey, and for some, conjured up memories of the state's worst such natural disaster, the 6.9 magnitude Barra Peak earthquake nearly 4 decades ago that killed 2 people and resulted in millions in damages, according to the Idaho Geological Survey, right? And they're even predicting a heavy major earthquake to happen further west in California around 9.0, so Yahweh Bashmi Awashai, like I said, these earthquakes are getting more and more heavier in magnitude. That's what makes these things so intense, Like I always say, it's not your regular 2.0s or 3.0s. They're 4.0s, 5.0s, 6.0s, 7.0s and up. And they're only going to get heavier, okay, in magnitude, And I haven't seen any news today, April 2nd, 2020, as far as any damages being reported or any injuries. But, that's a major earthquake, a 6.5, that's major, okay? That's another 0.5 on the Richter scale, and it'll be a 7.0, because these are fault lines. These are Madrid fault lines, San Andreas fault lines. They're just as volatile as over there in the Ring of Fire, with the different earthquakes and volcanic activity. Okay, so this is major here. All right, so now I want to move on to the next article, and this is from Bloomberg.com. See here. All right, this is dated March 30th, 2020, the year of prophecy. It says Italy risks losing grip in South with fear of looting and riots. Okay. It says poor regions are feeling strain of shuttered economy. Sicily mayor warns economic distress could stir up violence. All right, because of the lockdown they have down there in Italy and the thousands of cases and hundreds of deaths that they have due to this coronavirus. Um, it's getting it's getting the people riled up. So it says, as Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte fights to hold Italian society together through a crippling nationwide lockdown, the depressed South is turning into a powder keg. It says police have been deployed on the streets of Sicily's capital, Palermo, amid reports gangs are using social media to plot attacks on stores. A bankrupt ferry company halted service to the island, including vital supplies of food and medicines, as the state cracks under the strain of the coronavirus pandemic. Officials worry the mafia may be preparing to step in. Okay? So this is that pressure from above due to this lockdown, which is a strategy that the elites use. Pressure from above, pressure from below. And now that pressure from below is bubbling up over there in Italy, to where these Italians over there in Sicily, with there are a lot of Israelites in Sicily, okay? Because a lot of these Israelites in Sicily, these southern Italians, you know, they're just as much under the curses as the rest of us here in America, all right? Us Israelites here in America, because they're Israelites, okay? So they're feeling that pressure from above, and they're going to start, and people are going to start looting and rioting over there, okay? There hasn't been any news or reports of that yet, but this thing is bubbling up. So I want to get a scripture, okay? Let's go to the Apocrypha. All right, so let's go to the Apocrypha. All right. Everybody knows this chapter of scripture I'm going to go to. This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 15. I start at 15. It says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Okay? So people are going to start rising up against each other. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So people are going to start going against what these government officials are saying about these lockdowns, breaking curfews, which people are already doing that. You know, they're disobeying the stay-at-home orders, and they're eventually going to go toe-to-toe with these law enforcement officers on the front line, which has already been seen to a certain extent with these protests, but it's going to get even more violent. All right, so this is verse 17. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods. And this goes for what they said in the article about certain people are planning to attack certain stores for food because they're not able to ship any supplies to the island of Sicily. Okay, so what are they? So if they're not getting supplies, then they're going to have to go into these stores and take it, and that's what the prophecy says. All right, it says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Okay, so there you go. All right, there you go. Things are heating up. All right, things are heating up. Okay, things are heating up. So from there, right, and this is another article here from CBSnews.com. It says, shoot them dead. Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte orders police and military to kill citizens who defy coronavirus lockdown. All right, and this is from today's day, April 2nd, 2020, the year of prophecy. I'm going to jump right into it. It says, in the Philippines, the 57 million residents of the country's main island, Luzon, are under strict lockdown orders to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Despite that, many in a Manila slum, took to the streets Wednesday to protest the lack of supplies, arguing they had not received any food packs since the lockdown started 2 weeks ago. The local government refutes those claims and clashed with protesters, ultimately arresting 20 people who refused to return home. And that goes just with the scripture that I just read in 2 Esdras 15. Okay? Let's see here. So it says, later that night, the Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte took to the airwaves with a chilling warning for his citizens. Defy the lockdown orders again and the police will shoot you dead. I will not hesitate. My orders are to the police and military, as well as village officials. If there is any trouble or occasions where there is violence and your lives are in danger, shoot them dead, he said in a mix of Filipino and English in the televised address. Do not intimidate the government. Do not challenge the government. You will lose. All right, so let me read that again. 2 Esdras 15 and 16, it says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Okay? And this goes also into another scripture, all right, Revelation 13, because these lockdown orders are the setup for this new system that they're putting in place with the New World Order, the image of the beast. So this is Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So now you have it to where these government leaders are saying, if you're not complying with what we tell you to do, then we're going to shoot you dead, kill you in the Philippines. And that same notion could be spread throughout Asia and other countries, So we're in the time of the breakdown of Esau's society, according to prophecy, Although Esau is trying to orchestrate things and set his system up, it's ultimately going to fail, man. But I just wanted to bring that out. I just wanted to bring out those few headlines and bring those points out. I hope it was edifying. Continue to stay watching and praying to Yahweh Bashmiyan Shai. Have faith, keep the commandments. And let's continue to push until Yahweh Shai returns. So with that, I'm going to say shalom.